You know, today's a lovely day to enjoy the view out my window. Let's take a look. Well, why can't I? What could this invisible block be? Welcome back to BetaWorld, the series where we travel through Minecraft's history to obtain discontinued features and grow our ever-expanding survival world. As you can see, I've updated to a new version of Minecraft, a small bug fix update between Infdev 20.4.14 and the next version. This version does add back some significant features, such as my skin is back from Infdev, but also another major thing that's been added back in this version is monsters. So let's see if we can battle a couple, but this time with infinite terrain. Aha, Mr. Spider. Fight you. Oh, skeleton. Skeletons can be fairly scary, so I'm going to run away for this one. Into the water. The terrain generation in this version is actually different from the last. It's not all too different, however, so we're not going to be looking at any like side-by-side comparisons or anything. That is about everything new, so after I fight this creeper, we're going to be updating again. Oh my goodness! The previous release that I was on had a monster spawn rate so terribly high that I had to actually skip a version to the version that nerfed it right here, which happens to be the first major content update of Infdev. So I'm excited to explore what's new without a bajillion monsters in my face trying to kill me. So, let's take a look at the brand new block additions in this update. Hey, it's been a couple days, and there have been some issues with BetaWorld. The Infdev section of the world unfortunately got very, very corrupted in Infdev 2010-06-07 once I tried to load it. And I tried basically everything, and I could not get those chunks back. They were gone forever. So after a deep think about it, I've decided to create a new world in Infdev 2010-03-07, the version from the last episode. And I am going to redo all the glitches and such that we did in that episode in a brand new world. Rebuild the house from last episode, hopefully. And then, at a future date, I will inject the Infdev island into this world once we're in a more stable release. So, unfortunately, it's time to get to work. And after a bit of grinding, we've gotten just about back to where we were before, minus all those Infdev chunks that would be just over the hill if I was in the original world. Ignore the burning forest. I needed a way to clear some land to build this house. But anyway, yeah, we have a basically unfinished house with just this inside. I'll furnish it eventually. Give me some time. And out this back door is everything we had from Infdev 2010-03-07. So all these lovely crops with preserved data transportation. And with this farm and river, I say we've got a nice start. I will use MC Edit to bring back the Infdev chunks somewhere over there in a more stable release. But for now, I'd say we have some pretty good stuff coming for us in this new BetaWorld area. So I think after I work on the house a little bit more, it might be time to update to Infdev 2010-06-07 for real this time. The first main new feature of this update is the door. As you can see, I've already installed a couple in my house, so I'll show you how it works with this one. If you use the right-click button, you can open and then close the door. It does so instantly and places a nice little sound. It's actually 2 blocks tall, but they're the same block. See, if I break the bottom half of the door, the whole thing will disappear. This is what the item looks like, by the way. Weirdly, the top half of the actual door is transparent, but the item is not. Anyway, you can craft it with 6 planks, just like this. Here are some cool glitches you can do with them. If you place a door on some farmland, then the bottom half will break, but the top half will remain, which is a very odd result of just the top half being there. It's unopenable, and if you mine it, you get the door back. Awesome sauce. Additionally, if you have a setup like this, where there's a 1 block gap with a block above it, and you place a door in this gap, the top block gets completely deleted. Very useful. If you place a door on a slab, then the door duplicates, and you get 2 doors back. This is a good time to note that doors are not stackable, and you only get 1 from the crafting recipe. The next new item on our list is the ladder. Here's how you craft one. First, we're going to need some sticks. And then if you arrange it in this H-like pattern, you get one ladder. So let's take a look at how it works. You can place it on the side of blocks, kind of like a torch. And you can actually climb it up. And it doesn't need to be on the ground. It can be on the ground or one block above, and you can still climb it. And it's solid at the top, so you can also stand on it. If you have a transparent block, like a slab or glass here, there's a block next to it, and you'll place a ladder right here, and the ladder becomes invisible. You can still climb it up just fine. And it's kind of weird because you can step up onto it from the slab. Just, its texture does not render. And it's supported by the block on the right, so if you break that block, it pops off. Weird glitch. Our final new block of this version is the sign. As you can see in the inventory, it's got some writing on it. So let's see what happens when I place it down. Okay, so it's brought up a GUI of the sign where I could type in things. So I could type in BetaWorld or Infdev 2010 607. I could type in basically anything I want. However, there is a character limit. Each line can only handle a certain amount of characters. So let's try and count how many each line has.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. It is 15 characters per line, and there are 4 lines, which means the maximum number of characters you can put on a sign is 60 characters. So if I exit out of this GUI, you'll notice that the sign is bigger than a full block and has collision that I can walk up against, but not on all of it, just on the middle. So the model extends past the block. However, the sides of the sign don't have collision. If I try and mine the part that has collision, you'll see that it gives grass block particles, which is odd because this block is comprised of the planks and log texture and not any grass at all. I find that very odd. But what I find even more odd is if I were to mine this sign completely, give it a moment, it takes a little while, I just get a plank back and I don't get the sign back at all. That's not very good at all. I don't like that. Just like doors, signs are not stackable. And there is a weird glitch you can do if you have 2 signs and 2 transparent blocks, such as slabs. If I place 2 slabs like this, and I place a sign here, you'll see also it's floating above the slab, which is odd. And then if I place another sign here, the game will crash. And if I load the world back up, you'll see that one of the signs dropped out as a plank, which is normal, but there's also a sign in my inventory as well. And if I place it down, you'll see it doesn't get erased from my inventory. What I have on me at the moment is a 0 stack of signs, which is a very valuable item. I've created a little museum of sorts in this hill. As you can see, there's a little cutout, and there's a roof of cobblestone and a ground of stone, and there's little dugouts where you can see exhibits such as the half door I showed off earlier, the 0 stack sign, and the invisible ladder, which I've perfected. You can't climb it anymore, but it looks really cool with this invisible barrier. I'm sure I'll be able to expand this museum as more glitches get added to the game. But for now, it's a pretty fun build. I like it. In this version, there have been some possibly accidental changes to Minecraft's texture files. So let's take a look at a couple of them. The biggest one you'll notice is that there are these weird stripes on the water texture. That's not just you. There are actual stripes here, and they look really weird. Look at that. And if you look close enough, you may see that they're red stripes. Look familiar? Well, if you look at the side of the water block, like over here, you can see that there's a pixel or 2 of lava on each water block. And you can even see its animation a little bit in there. You can kind of see through the water as well. This is just a misalignment of the texture file and nothing else. If I had lava on me, which I don't know where I can find some, you'd see that there's a pixel of water on there too. Additionally, with the addition of the door, there's actually already been a change with our IDV crops. If you can see, data values 9 and 10, I believe these are, have been taken up by the top and bottom half of the door. So now we have some wood to mix up with our crops, and our crops are starting to look less purple. Pretty cool. But anyways, with that, that's about all Infdev 2010 of 607 has to offer for us. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. It helps out a ton. And check out my other videos too. They're pretty neat. But until next time, bye-bye!